Hey, what's going on, my friends? Welcome to my YouTube channel. My name is Victor, and today I'm going to share with you some signs that you might be going through what people call the dark night of the soul. And then if you are, at the end of the video, I'll share with you some tips, some things you can do if you find that you are. There is light at the end of this dark tunnel, I promise you and assure you. And the dark night of the soul is really the beginning of the rebirth of you. In all ways, spiritually, physically, emotionally, life situationally. It's just, but the birth is tough. The mother doesn't ever look too pleased as she's squeezing out the little baby. It's painful. It looks like something that I can't even imagine, honestly. But what happens after that? That's a whole new life, a whole new degree of love for this child. For it's just a total shift in perspective and what's important and priorities. Everything changes. All positive, all new and exciting and expansive on the other side of this birth, which is, again, the dark night of the soul in essence. So I'm going to go ahead now and get into some different common signs about this dark night of the soul. And let me just say, how do I know? Who's Victor, and how does he know about the dark night of the soul? Well, I've gone through the dark night of the soul a couple times. Sometimes it's more than one time, unfortunately. But it's an aspect of a spiritual awakening process that I've been a part of for over 10 years. And about 7-8 years in, I've dedicated myself to sharing my story and helping other people. And now I have thousands and thousands of YouTube subscribers who are resonating with this type of information. And I have a lot of experience working with people, both one-on-one and in groups, and just hearing from people. So I've dedicated my life, literally, to helping people with this. So when I tell you some signs, it's something that I experience, and also just themes and patterns I've recognized from all the different people I've been in communication with over the last few years since doing this channel. Okay? Sign number 1. Your life might be feeling like it's coming apart at the seams. All the different things that might have given you the illusion of safety and security and stability, allowing a lot of the issues within you that could be healed and make you happier to be dormant and locked away and compartmentalized in dark caverns of your awareness, below the conscious mind. So when a lot of people go through this dark night of the soul, their whole world kind of comes unglued, which seems mean and cruel. Like, how could this ever possibly result in any sort of positive conclusion? But it's this ungluedness, this feeling of uncertainty that allows all those darker issues to come and bubble up, to be seen and healed and integrated. So, but the dark night, it's like the time when all that happens. So my point is, if you find that, like, maybe you're just fired from your job, maybe you're getting a divorce, maybe all your friends stop talking to you, maybe your house has a big water pipe bust and you can't live there for like 6 months as they repair it, and all this crazy shit's happening, all stacked up, all at once, seeming like this cruel cosmic joke, just you're getting picked on by the universe, but it's not that. It's your soul, your higher self, the greater essence within you has called forth the perfect scenario, the perfect storm, more accurately put, to help catalyze this amazing rebirth of you. So if you find yourself going through that, it can be helpful to attach it to the more profound experience that is underlying and causing it to go down. Number 2 is a lot of emotional symptoms are very common, like waking up really depressed, like just this dread. There's like a literal depression, a melancholy, about just an inability to feel joy and passion and excitement and happiness. It's just gone, and accompanied with that is an agitation, just a discontentment, and irritability. And anxiety. A lot of anxiety can happen. There's a lot of all those old emotions that, again, have been shaken loose by your dark night experience, are expressed and experienced and manifested as anxiety, depression, sorrow, etc. Number 3 is there can be a bit of shock. A shock at the bombardment of truth of your life and your situation and the choices you've made and the results that have, stemmed from those choices. It's like sometimes it's like you wake up to like how you've been living. And most of the time, most people have been living fairly unconscious, inauthentic lives. Not to their own fault. All of us have that situation. We're very easily susceptible to external conditioning from our peers, from our parents, from the schools, from just the media, everything. It's gotten in us and has caused us to become these distorted versions of ourselves. And then lives, situations, relationships have been created from those distortions. And the dark night of the soul is coming in to say, we're going to wipe the slate clean in all ways, in deep ways. And you're going to need to see the creation you've made so that you can change it. Because you're a powerful manifester. We all are. What you really want, what your heart puts out there, it will get. But a lot of us haven't been putting out the right signals. The signals we've been putting out, again, were coming from an inauthentic sort of character, this persona that we've allowed to mold over us and cover us. It's been sort of creating our life, and you're like, this dark night's like you waking up to that. It's like, oh man, it sometimes can be it can seem overwhelming, basically. But that's just part of it, man. Is with that truth, with that awareness, comes power, comes knowledge, comes the ability to make new choices. It leaves room for the truth within you to start sending out new signals, to bring you new circumstances, new reflections into your life and renewing your situation. Without seeing there needs to be a renewal, no renewal can take place. But it's shocking. It can be disturbing and challenging to see so much that you've been blinded to all at once. Number 4 is a strong, undeniable, unshakable need, we'll say. I'd say desire, but it's more of like a need, an aching, a longing for a life of real satisfaction, connection, meaning, and purpose. Maybe some other qualities as well, but in essence, those 4 things. It's no longer, you're not going to be satisfied by status, by again, the way people perceive you, by your belongings, your house, any material items, even like stimulation that we can get from doing stuff and accomplishing things. None of it is going to cut it anymore. You're going to need something deeper, a deeper feeling of wholeness, of oneness. But as strong as that need is, you might find yourself having no freaking clue about how to do that, how to find that. Where you might look around, there's nowhere. Where am I going to get that? I don't have any idea. I don't know where to start. And yet this need just won't stop growing, and it causes this inner dichotomy that's maddening. But here's what's going to happen. That need will eventually clarify itself. It's going to give birth, literally, to a new demeanor, a new goals, new aspirations. And eventually you'll start getting these seeds of passion, these inspired ideas that'll resonate with this need for wholeness. And if you will start to follow them, and you will eventually literally lead yourself out of the dark night of the soul with the birthing of those authentic passions. But if you feel unclear, like none of that's going down yet, don't sweat it, man. Chill. It sucks. I know. You got to go through this. So you got to learn these lessons. You got to see what you've created before you can change. You got to see who you've become. Not easy to do. It's probably the hardest thing to do I've ever experienced. But from that, is the clean slate. From that, you can step over that starting line and begin finally living a life of meaning, purpose, connection, and awesomeness on all levels. That's what's attempting to happen to you, as ass backwards that might seem, given the present circumstance. Okay, so now, if you resonate, if you're still watching, then you're probably in the dark night of the soul, or you're just fascinated with the whole topic and are doing some research. I don't know. Regardless, now we are here and we can talk, and I'm going to share what I believe will help you through this, okay? And I'm going to share with you a metaphor, a story, something that happened to me just recently that is, I think, a perfect example of what can really help you, okay? So about a week ago or so, I took part in this ayahuasca ceremony. If you don't know what that is, it's like a sacred sort of plant medicine that people take to, it's like a medicine for the soul. It heals your consciousness and so forth, but it's kind of an intense psychedelic experience, right? And you're not supposed to fast when you do this stuff, and I fasted all day like a bonehead. So about 6-7 hours into the ceremony, when it was all done, finally I was hit by this intense medicine, and it came on so strong because I wasn't feeling it earlier, so I kept taking these other shots when they would call me up for other calls. So all of it hit me all at once at a very unideal time, and I resisted. It's very similar to the dark night of the soul, where this experience just fell into my lap at a very inopportune time, very unideal. The setting was not exactly conducive to what was happening within me. Again, the ceremony was over, the music had stopped, and I found myself fighting this experience. I would go to the bathroom and come back, and I would try to purge, and I'd go upstairs and come down, and I was like trying to find a way to stop it, trying to find a way to end it. I eventually raised my hand because I could hardly stand at that point, and I called one of the shamans over, and I was like, you gotta help me, I don't know what to do. And she just looked at me calmly and said, she's just not done with you. They call the ayahuasca a she. They said, she's just not done with you. You have lessons to learn. So lay back and learn those lessons. It's not what I wanted to hear, but I knew it was true. So what happened? I finally just laid back and gave in to the experience. I let go. And then as that happened, the lessons, the truth, all these things that were kicked up started to make sense. And though challenging, I could see the incredible value of gaining such insight into how I tick, the origin of mistakes and cycles I'm making and playing out, and the release of them. And I just laid there for hours, mesmerized by how fascinating it is to transform so quickly. Was it easy? No. Was it uncomfortable? Yeah. Was it scary sometimes? Shit, yeah. But the result was like, oh my God, I feel so cleaned out. I feel so clear and expansive and reconnected with my truth that has always been there underneath the rubble, that the ayahuasca, that the dark night is kicking up for you. So I'm not going to sit here and say this affirmation and it'll make it go away. I'm not going to tell you how to end it. This is the biggest blessing that's ever happened to you. But I'm saying this: let go. Go within. Breathe through it. Lay back and allow the experience to reveal to you how awesome you are and have always been. I have a deep empathy for people going through this dark night, for I have gone through it myself, and I know it was not easy. I'm not going to lie to you and say it is, but I can say that it's changed my life on all levels. More importantly, it's changed me. It's changed who I am, my sense of self. I can see the beauty within me, the divinity within me that is in all human beings. And when we can reconnect with that, which you are now doing, your life will start to build itself around that as you proceed from this more integrated, divine perspective. So lay back, breathe, and go through the lessons and get excited for the payoff that I know you know is on the horizon. I wish you well, my friends. If you want to hear more from me, again, I dedicate my life to helping people like you. I have a free newsletter where I can email you and send you updates about what's going on and other inspired messages. There's a link down below. Go ahead and subscribe to my channel if this resonated with you. 2 or 3 times a week I share a video that just sort of helps people with the different aspects of the dark night of the soul, different aspects of the grander spiritual awakening process, etc. I'm here for you. You're not alone. I love you. Have an amazing day. Peace.